What's up, my man?
Not much. How are you?
Doing good, buddy.
You ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I'm jacked.
I am too.
But we'd be remiss not to mention that there was a badass main event Saturday night. Didn't get a lot of shine, but all the bullshit aside, bro, Costa and Vettori duked it out, bro.
Dude, that was awesome.
It was fucking awesome, bro. Like, we hit all our parlays all the way up to it, and we were both just like, Costa money line, we got this. And I just knew it. I knew it. I didn't know if it'd be like a finish. I thought Vettori doesn't ever go out. Costa's going to like 4-1 him. Mm-hmm. He'll be all battered and look like that Goonies guy. I had this all planned out, and man, Marvin, I wasn't impressed at first when they were like, he outstruck him da-da-da-da-da-da in the first round, because I was like, yeah, but he was love tapping. And when Paulo threw, it was like, holy shit, how many of those can a human take? And then round 2 came, and Vettori looked a little better. Round 3, he looked a little better. Round 4, he looked a little better. Mm-hmm. And then round 5, Costa went for fucking broke. It was the other round that he won. He won 2.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because he had the point deduction on round 2.
What'd you think about that?
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
No.
The first eye poke of the match, the dude takes a point. I was shocked. I mean, it's hard to, because I was rooting so hard for him to win. You know, I think he's a piece of shit for what he did and stuff, but I was like, you are fucking kidding me. This is my luck. My guy loses a fucking random point, like unheard of. Like, the refs say, hey, fingers up 20 times a fight. Mm-hmm. You hear it all the time, especially in the Apex. He said that a couple times, sure. But holy shit, dude, in the main event that the UFC wants to be big, like, and these are, I'd love for this fight to blow up. A couple of guys I can't make any money off of right now. And then you do that? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't like it. There should have been more warning, something. When he took the point is when he should have been, this is your one and only warning. Next time there will be a point deduction. I didn't like it.
I agree. I think that he should have they gave stern warnings all fucking night. Right. To see other guys get 2-3 warnings, I don't know. It aggravated me. I think it was Herzog.
Yeah, Jason Herzog.
Great ref. Love the guy. I love when he's reffing our main events, and I love that there's 2 or 3 refs each night that take turns and do the whole card. He's one of the best, but dude, it was a shitty call. I don't know why he made it. I love that they're trying to use replay. Like, I'm big into football. Instant replay is such a huge part of the game. Mm-hmm. 15 years ago we were like, well, they're pausing the game. Now we're like, review that motherfucking play. Well, if we can do it in UFC now, why can't it be for anything? Why can't you go in between rounds? Hey, Jason, not sure that was the right call. The yellow light's on. They're looking at it. They're going to decide if he had enough warnings, if there was any malice. And the other side, you're supposed to, how much it affects the other guy. If a guy takes a nut shot that cripples him and he's down the full 5 minutes, sometimes they'll take a point on the first go because, hey, he has compromised the rest of the fight. Vettori was just like, hey, man, he fucking poked me. He's fine. And when the replay happened, they're like, oh, it was a bad one. But it wasn't.
No, bro. It wasn't at all.
But it's whatever, dude. Vettori came out and dominated the middle 3, and then Costa won the final round, which halfway through the first round, the commentators were like super biased. Like, his gas tank looks low.
Yeah,
they were spooking me.
They did me too. That was a prime example of the commentators skewing your opinion.
I agree.
That was one of those.
They had me going, wait a minute. He'd throw a fucking haymaker in round 3, and I'd be like, he's still there, right?
He's fine. Yeah.
And then I'd be like fucking chewing my fingernails like, dude, they keep saying he's gassed. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing, But he dominated the 5th round. It was awesome. I was just praying. I mean, there was like 10 seconds left, and he was still landing, and I was like, come on, one of these, drop this motherfucker. This would be epic, Even money aside, like, it would be an epic story. Like, remember that time Costa and Vettori went till 10 seconds? Mm-hmm. And he lost 3-2. So the point didn't come into play. He was losing either way. And Dana came out afterwards and said, he's a 205er now. Like, no call for Costa. Mm-hmm. He's a 205er now. And Costa came out like an hour later, and he was cool. He was like, I hope, if I can get to 185, why not let me? I mean, that's where I've made my run. Like, that's where I belong. Fighting at 205 will be fun when it's time, but it's not time. So they were both okay. I wouldn't hate it.
No, I think he should stay there.
205 could use a Paulo Costa.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah. Yeah, and 185, they got the hair plug meme going around about he pulled out of that fight and had surgery on his hair. He's got the claiming that he was drunk when Izzy knocked him out. He's got a lot of bad this last 15 months. He used to be the guy that would get in Yoel Romero's face and like salute and dance and be like, come get it. And people were like, holy fuck, this dude's a bad man, you know? Go to 205 and you'll be more of a bright spot in a kind of dim division.
Right.
Go to 205 and beat one guy. Fight Lionheart Smith. And if you win, you get to fight Blachowicz, Teixeira, whoever's got the fucking belt.
Right.
We said it was going to be musical chairs when John left, and Jan's proved me wrong.
He's proven everyone wrong, yeah.
God damn, he got Dom Reyes and then Izzy, which was huge.
Yeah, how many people thought that would happen?
I think Izzy moving up was like a minus 200 favorite or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was just no one thought he was going to lose. When it was happening, we were just like speechless. He was getting held down pretty bad like in the 5th round, and we were just like, this is happening?
Yeah, I remember we had a big crowd at your house that night. I remember when that fight started, everybody that had bets alive were obviously all on Izzy.
Fuck, yeah.
And we were all already celebrating.
Or mine were, a couple of mine were under 4.5.
Yeah.
And that was Izzy winning,
mm-hmm.
you know. Yeah, we were already, we hit. We all hit when Izzy was walking out some cool way. We were like, yeah, we got this. And then
it didn't happen.
And I still think the first rounds were closer than the world thinks, but not as close as the commentary made you feel. They were pro Izzy the whole week.
Oh, yeah.
Blachowicz was like super nice, but even like mentioning, you know, I guess I'm not, might as well not show up, you know, like I like Blachowicz. And I'm nervous for him for Saturday night. Well, Saturday.
Well, yeah, Saturday midday. I wasn't nervous until this week, and then it's just kind of starting to sink in.
Me too.
Man, Glover, it wasn't an accident that he got here. This isn't a late fill-in guy. This is a guy that's been beaten ass to get here.
Glover was on a 20-fight win streak whenever he got his title shot with John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
After the loss, he says it. I heard him say it this week on Embedded or one of those badass shows we like. You know, it broke me down. I ended up going on a losing streak and moving back to Brazil. And I even heard one of his coaches say, like, yeah, he lost it all. Went back to Brazil, had to start over. This motherfucker's 43, and he earned it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 43 and fighting for the belt. They don't want this main event. None of us do.
No.
He's only doing it because he earned the fucking shit. And how crazy would it be if he got it, if he retired in the cage even? Now, I don't think he would if he won it. I think he'd be on such cloud 9 he wouldn't want to bring down the moment. But it's just this week I'm all of a sudden scared. He looks like a fucking brick shithouse. And everyone's being like, yeah, he spars every day with this 17-year-old phenom, my son, and he's stronger than ever, better than ever. This is the one sport where the longer you're in it, you don't necessarily get worse. You learn more. You know, like black belts don't stop training, bro. You know what I mean? And they don't give belts for striking, but why not? He'd be a black belt in fucking striking. And Jan was a journeyman who's on a win streak. He's on a fucking killer win streak. But if you look at that on a piece of paper, you might be like, okay, he was up and down, and then he's won. It might be 3, 4 in a row. I don't know how many it is in a row. His beef with Corey Anderson this week turned me off a little bit. I didn't like him playing with Corey.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I'd have done. I'd have just left it alone.
He's in the minors now. No need to rub his face in shit. They're 1-1. Jan got hugged for 15 minutes and then, sent him to the shadow realm. So he came out on top. Let it go. Fuck Corey Anderson. Although we're talking about him again.
Again,
that
he keeps getting us.
That son of a bitch. Yeah, but as of this week, I'm nervous that maybe Blachowicz, it's the UFC, dude. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and this is the first time in a long time he's been the favorite going into a fight.
That's true. He was the underdog when he defended, underdog when he entered him on the fight.
Yep.
Probably underdog.
Against Corey.
Underdog against Luke Rockhold.
Yep. Yeah, because that was supposed to be Luke Rockhold's moving to 205, coming
Return
out
to
fight.
form.
Yeah. He was moving to 205. He was going to show everybody he's here.
I kind of like Luke Rockhold.
And then he got his head knocked off.
But that's just one of the all-timers, that highlight.
Mm-hmm.
When you see that highlight, you can't not go like, oh, shit. It's just bink. Mm-hmm. I love those, dude. But Blachowicz has earned, he should be the favorite. He should be the favorite, the big favorite. But goddamn, I don't know. I'm betting not to go the distance and nothing else. I would have told you, I was like, I'll put you on and everything like last week, but I can't do it.
I'm going to say this for probably more than one fight here for this card. You back me into a corner, make me pick a fighter. I'll pick you on.
Fair enough.
But do I think the odds are right as far as the separation? No.
Yeah. I think it's -3 something for Jan and +3 something for Glover. Yeah, if I had to make the odds, I would probably have it -100 +100. I know that sounds so stupid because it's Jan, Polish power. But another thing going on this week, in the midst of Jan and Glover, being friendly and bumping into each other and saying respectful shit, but that when we get in there, it's on. Jan said when we get in there, it's business. I'm supposed to go knock him out, and that's what I'm going to do. Yuri Prohaska's walking around. He's the backup guy. Like you said earlier, they always have a backup fighter for the Abu Dhabi fights. It never occurred to me.
Yeah, because they had Michael Chandler.
When they do it, it always feels like it's for a special event. But you're right. It's always the Abu Dhabi title fights.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's because they only go there once a year and they want to ensure that they get a title fight. I don't know.
Yeah, it must be. They did that whenever Khabib and Gaethje.
Chandler, that was a year ago.
Yeah, Chandler weighed in as a backup fighter.
They did it another time, too. Maybe a not as high-profile fight, but there was a...
Didn't RDA weigh in for someone?
Yeah, Connor and Dustin?
That's right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because RDA and Connor got into it in the back.
Yeah, that'd have been so cool, though. I like RDA, man. I hate that he's out right now. What we're talking about is UFC 267. It starts at 10 a.m. Central Time Saturday morning, which is insane, bitch. I'm gonna go run 5 miles. I'm back on that. I've done it 2 days in a row now. I'm gonna go run early. Get home about 9:30. You can be out hunting, whatever the fuck you want to do, bro. I'm going to be laying on the couch watching some prelims, baby. Main card at 1. And it's free. I can't believe this is like the ultimate fight night, bro.
It is, yeah.
First numbered event to be free since like UFC 89 or some shit.
Yeah, this reminds me of the first ever fight they had on Fox. It was the heavyweight title, Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos.
How'd that one go?
Junior got him in 64 seconds.
Holy
which started the trilogy.
Holy shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I want something like that.
I mean, what better can you ask for than the title changing hands?
What if Sandhagen knocked the fuck out of Jan in the first round and it started an epic bantamweight trilogy with those two badasses?
I'd love it.
That's the co-main. You got Jan or you got Sandhagen?
Man, I really like Sandhagen a lot.
I know. Try to take our feelings out of it because we're both huge Sandhagen fans.
Yeah.
We should say that because I know the Sandman watches this. That we're huge fans.
That is a problem. I am a huge Sandhagen fan.
But to try to not think about that, does Jan pressure him and put him down? Or Probably. You broke my heart. I didn't know you were going to say that.
Now, I will say...
That's the one thing he's got going for him.
We do know styles make fights.
That's right.
And I do definitely think this is a way harder fight than Aljamain.
We've been hearing that a lot this week. A lot of this is the toughest matchup Jan could get. Hearing that a lot. Now, is that just people just wanting a line for their show? I don't know.
No, I do firmly believe that.
If it is the toughest matchup he could get, then that makes it exciting as fuck.
Because when Petr Yan fought Jose Aldo, that was a really good fight. They stood there and banged it out the whole time.
Fuck, 23 minutes.
Aldo wasn't shooting for takedowns. He wasn't getting desperate, pushing him against the cage. He wanted to stand there and bang.
Yeah, and it was more of a boxing match almost.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of kicks or anything like that. They duked it in the center, bro.
Corey's not going to want to go down. He's not going to. I mean, he's going to want to stand.
Yeah.
Spinning wheel kicks.
I don't know. He's saying maybe his one advantage is that aspect. If it is it stupid to not try it? He tore TJ's knee up 4 minutes into the fight. And he didn't go back to it, but he tore his knee up. Could he get Jan a fluky, like, God damn it, I got to tap? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it could happen.
But I do agree that if the fight goes 25 minutes, it'll be 20 minutes of fucking
banging.
Yes, swinging and banging.
Yep.
But
I think so.
The best thing Jan's got going is that pressure, though. Brendan Schaub was saying No, it was Cejudo, who I totally respect. I'm obsessed with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, the one thing Jan's got going for him is pressure that he puts on people. And after watching Sandhagen crumble to TJ's pressure, he said he used to think, Triple C said, I used to think Corey Sandhagen was my toughest matchup in the UFC. And I was glad he didn't come up before I got out. Now, after seeing him crumble to TJ, Jan's going to finish him. And it really fucking threw me for a loop. Did he crumble to TJ's pressure?
I didn't think so.
He's stalemated for a long time, way too long, and he keeps saying he's learned his lesson, but he did kind of let him hang on his back for like minute straight at a time, like unable to get free, not even trying to get free sometimes.
That he gave some rounds away to trying to do too much flashy stuff, and he would get taken down, and that would, when rounds are so close like they were, that one takedown. Yep. That was the difference maker. The 30 seconds TJ spent on top, that was the difference maker. I really do believe that if Corey would have just stuck with a little bit more of the basics, quit trying to do the spinning wheel kick. I know it worked on Marlon Moraes, but after the first failed attempt, don't try it again. I think he probably would have won.
Yeah, you could tell he was hunting for that flash KO. He wanted the highlight reel. He's 28 years old. I mean, he's not even in his prime yet. Like, of course, he's a kid, dude. He wanted that highlight reel KO. And he fucked around and it cost him. I don't think it should have, though. I'm one of the firm believers that he should have won like 3 or 4 rounds. If it would have been 49-46 Corey, I wouldn't have batted a fucking eye. I am a fan. But TJ got me hyped for that fight. As the week went, I was like, this is my first ride with TJ. Mm-hmm. Okay, is this the guy you love to hate? He was a little more mature, a little more mellow, and still got that cocky attitude, like... Dude, he can say what he wants about practice. I'm going to go beat his ass. It was a war, but Corey can't let go of that. Bro, I left that cage with a sad face. He left with a mangled knee, fucking cuts all over his face, 20 stitches. Like, he left all beat up. And I agree. Mm-hmm. I know it's a round-by-round thing, and I know that each round only counts as one. I mean, that's just how it is. Corey dominated a couple rounds, coasted a couple rounds, but TJ just hung on him. It is what it is. But I think Corey's going to be that's going to be so strong in the back of his mind that he is going to be hunting the finish. And that may be good, and it may backfire. I don't know. But when we talk about strength of schedule, Corey has fought so many more bad motherfuckers than Jan. Now, you get who you get. The UFC gives you a fight. Now, you could call for fights. You don't always get what you call for, but we were talking earlier about Jan's biggest win is the Aldo fight.
For sure.
His only other notable victory is Uriah Faber. And how old was Uriah then? You said he first retired?
42, I think.
Right.
Was his age. Because he first retired at 36.
And came back.
Yeah, because he started fighting at 18, so obviously he had a lengthy career. But then came back after 3 or 4 years off.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And then I think he beat Ricky Simone.
Fuck yeah.
And then had the Petr Yan fight.
And Jan knocked him out. Mm-hmm. He fucked him up. But like you just said, he was either 40, 41, 42. He was past, he shouldn't have been in there. Now at the same time, there are the Glover Teixeiras who are 43 fighting for a belt, but he's the exception, brother, not the rule. You know, that ain't how it goes. We see all these other 43-year-olds getting the axe after a bad loss, you know. Mm-hmm. And it may happen to Glover this week. I don't think they'll axe his ass Monday morning if he takes a devastating loss. But, you know, they ain't rooting for him to win the belt and retire in the cage. No. And they ain't even rooting for him to win and defend, you know. Like, no. But, so, I don't know, man. It's just, you got 2 title fights that maybe it's going to just go how everyone thinks. Maybe Jan and Jan. You know what I'm saying? And that's not so bad. Jan's a bad motherfucker. He could fight Aljo and That'd be cool. If Aljo shows up, that could be cool. I'd much rather see Corey win, rematch with TJ, holy shit, whoop his ass, finish his ass, and then he would have to fight. By then, it could be a year and a half from now. Sugar Sean, baby.
Yeah, it could be
Ricky
anyone.
Simone. It could be anybody. I don't know. But, okay, let's get into the rest of the main card because we can sit here and talk all night about the title fights, bro. I'm definitely pulling for Sandy and Blachowicz.
Yeah, I want Sandhagen and Blachowicz.
Ditto. That's who I'm rooting for.
For sure.
As a fan, Yeah,
the fan in me, not saying the better in me, I'm saying the fan in me is for sure Sandhagen, Blachowicz.
Amen. Okay, so the fight right before that is going to be Islam Makashev and Dan Hooker, which, dude, I'm just as jacked for as either of the belts. We were driving up to the studio and started talking about this fight in the car. We get 90 seconds in the car, and we were just like little kids, like, dude, oh my God, can you believe if Dan got him? How it would be if Dan got him? Fuck, can you imagine what it would be like if Hooker got him?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What were the odds?
Makashev was over minus 600, like 610, 640.
Nuts.
You got to lay down $700 to win 100. It's like that's to get you. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of them Nunes guys that bet $1 million on Nunes and it paid like $89K. Who would ever risk it? On the flip side, Dan Hooker, who's taken this fight on 1 month notice, who took this fight for like 48 hours after he finished, I think, a decision win.
Yep, finished a decision.
So he grilled out 15 minutes, and then like the next day, you're probably more sore than ever. Like, bro, rolling with friends for 15 minutes makes my whole body sore for 4 days. I can't imagine an actual cage fight where you're really, putting 110% and getting it from a guy. So he's got black eyes still from it's healed up, but he's got a mark. It's the worst possible way to take the Makashev fight for Dan. He should have done how about we do it on the Izzy card in February? Give me 3 months and I'll fuck this guy up. But beggars can't be choosers, bro. Dan's had a rough run, had a nice little comeback, but he's not a big superstar. Not equal with his counterparts like Izzy, Bob Whitaker. Who's the other huge New Zealand Australian guy?
Volk.
Yep. Yeah, those guys are popping way more than Dan. But I would say Dan's the baddest of them all, bro. He's a cool dude.
Dan's a gamer. He comes to fight.
Love him.
He doesn't come to lay around. He comes to fight.
Now, on the other side, with Makashev, you've got Khabib is like his head coach. Okay, and Khabib's like, yeah, 1 year he'll have the belt. He's been saying this shit. He has 100% belief in Makashev. If you listen to DC and Khabib and these highly respected people in the game, Makashev is an unstoppable force who is going to rule the division like Khabib till he decides to leave. Mm-hmm. That's an insane prospect, especially with where the belt's at, who you got to go through to get it. It's just, I don't want that to be true. Okay,
no, I don't either.
Now Khabib went 29-0. Makashev, maybe his first UFC fight, got KO'd, not TKO'd, dropped like a fucking dude. You've seen it. Mm-hmm. Just dropped. One punch. So he's not unstoppable. Khabib ate some shots in his career. And what the fuck? Never went down. I don't even think he ever stumbled, He says that one more kick from Gaethje and I'd have been, down. But that could be him just being a super nice dude for all we know. Because we talked about that the other day. You said you could see it in that last shot that I have to get him down now, and he got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that kind of shit. But we talked about Thiago Moises and Islam's lack of control, even though he's supposed to be some phenom.
He didn't have the control over Thiago Moises that I was expecting. Thiago Moises was very comfortable on the ground with him. It wasn't the slaughtering that Khabib would put on people.
Right.
They're saying this is the next Khabib, and I sure didn't see it in that
No
fight.
one initiates takedowns with Khabib.
No.
Thiago was initiating some takedowns and had fucking great flow grapple. He was moving with him. I'm not saying Hooker should, but I'm just saying it's another example of maybe Islam's not unbeatable.
Right, and Hooker's a big 55er.
Yeah, and even having this unbeatable conversation is kind of weird when he was knocked out just 36 months ago. It's... Dan could do it.
Yes.
Now, down on the other side, Dan's had the rough go lately. A couple losses, maybe 3. Wins against maybe lower tier opponents than normal. Who was his last victory?
Well, he just beat Hasparat.
Nakparast.
That's it, yeah.
An unranked guy.
But he does have wins over Felder.
A couple years back, Felder
had the most insane fight ever with Poirier.
Now, here's the thing I'll say.
Great fight.
Beat Felder, lost to Poirier. Either one of those fights could have went either way.
Yes.
That should be known. Both of those were coin flips. I screamed robbery when Felder lost, but he had won me over just with toughness. Hooker probably won that fight. The Dustin fight, he had Dustin hurt. Dustin had him hurt. I mean, all-out war, dude. It could have went either way, and no one could have said a word, just like TJ and Sandhagen. So
it wasn't close enough to call robbery.
On the stat sheet, it's a couple L's, but, well, a win and a loss. But he was in both of those fights.
Yeah.
Right there. The one time he's looked like a fool was when Michael Chandler fucking dropped his ass, bro. Not a good look.
No.
Ran the whole time and then got dropped with one punch. But biggest fight of his career, probably. It's weird saying that. He had just fought Dustin at the Apex on a fight night. I don't know. That's the one time he's looked bad, and I don't think it should be held against him. He's a young dude. But no one's giving him a shot in hell.
No.
No.
Especially the odds makers.
No.
So for anybody out there wanting to gamble a little bit,
the reason he's
throw a little money on this guy.
Yeah, the reason he's plus 410 is because they're begging you, hey, spend some over here so we don't just lose these rich fuckers on Islam. They want us to put that plus 410 on the line. Hey, Dan by knockout, which I said to you was the only way I think he'd win, plus 1,100. I mean, that's 100 pays $1,100, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, throw that in your parlay, and if it hit, dude. That being said, I don't think it will happen. I'd love it. I love Khabib. I hate that he's this guy's head coach because I don't like Islam.
No, I'm not a huge fan of Islam.
Since the Tony shit.
Yeah, leave Tony alone.
He's fucking with Tony, who's a legend of the sport, bro. It just rubs me wrong. Tony's crazy, and he posts cringy shit, and he's been out of the game, taking a few tough losses, but there's super fights. Tony Connor, Tony Nate. These are huge super fights where we would watch them, just like Nick Diaz. Even better than that, because these guys aren't out of the game so long and at that age. Tony Connor's got to happen. And Tony, Nate, and I'm forgetting some. Another super fight we were just joking about Tony with. Fuck. I think I said Tony RDA, and you're like, that happened back in the day.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. But I don't know. Don't pick on Tony, man. Tony's the man. But I'm rooting for Dan. I can't bet on him. It would be awesome if he controlled him and won on points and said, hey, I just made him my bitch. And he's talking about that. Like this week he's saying, wouldn't you guys shit? Yeah, dude. Highlight KO, though. The knee he caught Dustin with or one of those badass moves.
And this is the perfect time for him to do something crazy because he's supposed to lose.
Yes.
If he loses, if he gets taken down and controlled for 15 minutes, that is exactly what was supposed to happen.
Yep. People are going to shrug and say, he tried.
That's why Islam was a minus 600 favorite. But if he jumps up and hits him with a flying knee, and it hits,
spinning back elbow,
flush,
baby,
and drops him, it's going to be perfect.
Preach it, brother. Yeah, definitely. It would shock the world. Yeah. He's already got a little bit of hype from taking the short notice fight. He's already got a little shine on his name because he's taken the Makashev fight that Islam comes on Instagram once every 2 months and goes, nobody will take the fight. They ask everybody. And he even called out Paul Felder. He won against Thiago Moises and even called out Paul right there getting interviewed saying, you were even dodging me. And Paul's like, I ain't never dodged a fight. And I was like, oh, fuck. It wasn't that exciting, but I loved how Paul was like, didn't happen. And he even addressed that. He said, listen, I had decided I was retired for about 50 days before it was announced. So this guy's talking shit, called me out, and I'm not supposed to say I'm done. So he got to kind of claim that Paul was dodging him, but who knows? John Anik made a post the other day and said, I don't think Paul Felder's done. He's like, I think he's gonna come back.
Yeah, I've been hearing little rumors about
one more fight. Who could it be, bro? Hold on, before we get crazy, let's keep going down this card. Okay, so
I got a guy in my mind already.
Who?
if Michael Chandler loses, there you go.
Chandler Felder?
Yeah.
I'd watch the fuck out of it. I saw some asshole nobody, one of us, make a post that went viral, and it was just like, Chandler McGregor for the most epic first round in UFC history. And it just like blew up, and I was like, I don't even want that.
No.
I'd want both of them to lose. No, I like Conor. I'd be rooting for him.
I was going to say, are you turning?
No, but he's getting a little more batshit crazy. It's hard to root for the guy. Hey, I think Conor's been watching. It's hard to root for you, my man. Being an asshole, punching people in the face. Like, god damn. I was going to interview him on here. You remember us talking about that a few weeks ago? I was going to, but can't have him on right now. Okay. Volkov and Marcin Tybura kind of under the radar because Marcin's like an up-and-coming. I mean, I say that. He's not popular is what I mean. He's a bad motherfucker, though. I think Volkov should just destroy him. But
I think so, too.
Volkov's longer, but smaller. I mean, Marcin's a big dude.
Volkov didn't do terrible against Cyril Gane. He had the best showing of anybody on Cyril Gane. That was his last fight, too.
Right. Lost big time by decision, but didn't get his ass whipped.
No, he didn't get just annihilated.
Just outperformed.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to skim past you boys, but man, okay, Zhing Lang, I think I'm saying that right, and Khamzat Chimaev, 9-0, 9 finishes. Chimaev's back. He took 3 fights in 33 days or some shit last summer.
Yeah.
Fucking he definitely took the COVID kind of weird UFC time and capitalized massively. I mean, Sugar Sean did too, but Sugar Sean had years from like Contender Series to build, and Chimaev came out of nowhere. Fought 3 times in a month and was a superstar. The amount of followers that dude has on Instagram over like some of these super popular fighters that have grinded for so long is insane, dude. And I've been kind of thinking, been talking the shocker to you for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I've been going, what if Zhing Lang knocked his ass out? Just because what if? Finally a ranked opponent. Finally a savage. Like, this should be one where you go, it could go either way. But it's not. He's minus 600. Zhing Lang has no chance? Come on, dude. Turn on Embedded Monday. Chimaev's on there. He's like this. When the fight starts, I'm going to eat him up, and that'll be that, and I'll just go to the next one. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's going to kill this dude. He's just Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro.
I know. I started watching some of the interviews. I was like, oh, my God.
He is vicious.
I'm going to take out this guy. I'll be happy to step in if George or Leon gets hurt. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, he's talking about...
I'll beat either one of them very easily.
He's talking about beating this guy and then, like, hopping on the next card with an injury. Anybody.
Yeah. Anyone that wants it.
What a beast. And what's cool is he's one of the few scenarios where Dana will be like, you want to do it? Yeah. This will be huge. You want to do it? If Jorge pulls out or Leon pulls out and he gets up in there, can you imagine Chimaev, Masvidal? They wouldn't let it happen, would they?
I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool
if he manhandled Masvidal.
If Masvidal, for some reason, has to pull out, that would be kind of cool, considering that was the fight that was supposed to happen.
January, right? December last year, it was supposed to be Leon Chimaev.
It got moved like 3 times.
COVID, it got moved like 3 times, and then Chimaev had the lingering effects.
Yep, and finally...
And was retired and shit. He was not ever coming back. He thought he couldn't. His lungs were fucked. Mm-hmm. Very curious if that's a thing still. But he's acting like it's not, dude. Watching some of his training footage is fucking nuts. You would think the fight's in 3 weeks because he's going so hard, but it's in 3 fucking days. Bro, I'm jacked.
I'll just never forget when he was fighting Gerald Berchart. And we're all like just excited to watch Khamzat fight and everything. We're like, yeah, man, this is like his 3rd fight in 30 days. And he comes out and bam, 1-shots him.
Yes. And it was bad. Dude.
It was real bad.
Bad for Gerald. He looked bad. He backed up for 30. He was out. Mm-hmm. Kind of sad. Kind of like the Dan Hooker-Chandler fight.
Mm-hmm. Because Gerald's been on a run ever since then.
And the first 2 opponents that he ragdolled, he kind of did it on the ground. So it was like, look what I can do. Like, holy shit, this all-star Dagestan wrestler dude can do that. You know, I mean, if they think Islam Makashev could be the next champion, this is a bigger, better version, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he'd eat Islam's lunch. I don't see them calling for that. They call out everybody. I don't see him calling for any 170 guys, but especially not that. And to start the main card, another kind of under-the-radar good one, Volkan, Ozdemir, and Magomed Ankalaev. who we saw destroy Cutelaba a couple times.
Yep.
I heard him getting some praise this week from a couple people that write about MMA, saying like, in a year and a half or so, he's probably going to be your light heavyweight champion. That dude's unstoppable. And I don't know that I see it, but he kind of gassed in his last fight. I think he won a decision, but looked like shit.
He did against Nikita Krylov.
That's right.
Yeah, and because I remember I obviously bet on him, and I was nervous. I'm like, where's that guy that was fighting Ian Cutelaba twice?
Right.
The crazy motherfucker.
Yeah. Didn't look good.
No.
But he pulled it off.
He won, but wasn't what I was expecting. And Volkan Ozdemir ain't scared to throw.
That's right.
That's one thing for
sure.
Now,
one thing I will say about it is Volkan has been through a lot of wars, man.
His body has taken a lot of damage.
If you lose a little bit each time, then this motherfucker's lost a lot. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lose, but, Ankalaev is a very younger body, less head trauma, loves to bang. I mean, I could see it being a quick night for Magomed, but on the prelims, it's not as juicy as next week's, but Amanda Hebos is the main event versus Verna Jandiroba. Now, this is all free, so prelims or main carded don't matter, baby. Tune in. I'd love to see Hebos get a win. Don't really care. Kind of like Verna, too. Is that freaky-looking bitch?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's that freaky-looking bitch, bro. The cross-eyed looking gal.
Oh, yeah, crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Verna, if you're watching, girl. God dang.
Crazy eyes.
God, I wish I could show the camera. That's a crazy-looking bitch, man. Ricardo Ramos and Zybera Tukagov, 19-5. Is he one of those savage wrestlers?
Not sure.
He's got to be. He's Russian. Albert Duraev versus Roman Kopylov. Okay, don't get it twisted. Next week's prelims is like a fucking fight night main card, bro. This one, not so much. Marquand Amakani is good. He's fighting Lerone Murphy, who's 10-0 with a no contest. Lerone's a huge favorite, another huge favorite on the card. Ooh, Andre Petrovsky.
I like him.
From Tough this year. Andre Petrovsky, who came up short. He was our...
I remember from the first episode, I said that'll be the guy to win.
Yeah, we both agreed that that's the baddest motherfucker in the room, and, he wasn't, but doesn't mean he's not going to be great. He's fighting somebody I'm not sure of. Magomed Mustafayev. There's so many Magomed. Sorry, guys. I can't even keep you straight. But he's fighting a guy that's 23-1. It's going to be awesome. It starts at 10 a.m., baby. Going all day. It's going to be good. The main card will be so worth the wait. We probably got to hop on this news train real quick. Every time we get done with the show, we do the show on Wednesday nights. Every time we get done with the show, I get home and kick back about an hour later, and there's some badass piece of news. Last week, it was, Emmett Ige got announced, but Nate Diaz posted a picture of, and all it was Tony Ferguson holding the belt. So it was like a big Nate Diaz is calling out Tony. And the only reason I was even thinking Nate and Tony a minute ago when we were yapping is because this. Diaz has got one fight left on his contract. Typically, they won't let those stars fight those fights. I mean, they don't want him to be able to go wherever he wants. He could fight this fight and in 3 months be fighting Jake Paul for $20 million. They don't want that.
No.
So are they just going to give him a fight and let it be? If so, let him fight Tony. Because if you let him fight Tony, you can probably get him to do one fight for $5 million with Conor, and then let him go to free agency. There's a couple guys that I think could be very surprise losses here coming up. I already talked a few weeks ago. Sugar Sean's wanting to fight out unranked opponents on these last 3 fights and then sign a deal. If he really waits till it's over, he could very well go anywhere he wanted. He could be Bellator's biggest star.
Yeah, because Sugar Sean's one of these type of people that's made it very clear it's all about money to him.
Yeah, he said, I ain't fighting no top 10 guys for this contract.
It's all about money. Scott Coker will eat that up.
Oh, yeah.
Eat it up.
And we joked around last week. His favorite type of fighter to sign is a former UFC fighter. I mean, that's his business model and whatever. And last week on the card when they dropped the coming up, they showed Brunson Cannonier signed and ready. You called for that fight.
And when is that? That's January?
Yeah, that is on January 22.
Yeah.
That's UFC 270 with, is that?
Brandon Moreno and Figueiredo.
Yeah.
And then, Gone and Ngannou.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I called for that fight. I'm happy about that.
Yep. That's a good one. I don't necessarily think that if Cannonier wins, he should be fighting for the belt, but that's how it's going to be.
Probably.
Because if Brunson wins, he's earned it.
Yeah.
Man, if Brunson wins, you got to let him fight Izzy. You got to.
You got to keep
even
the
if he gets
hair.
destroyed again. Oh, baby. Now the wrench in this plan is, like we say, Brunson fucks up Cannonier, and he's like doing, good title shot, and then Izzy loses to Whitaker. That would be the worst thing that could happen to Brunson, because they're immediately booking the trilogy in Australia in a fucking stadium with 70,000,
And Brunson will probably get stuck fighting Marvin Vettori.
Yeah, they'll probably be like, oh, you got to do a fight, man. You'll be waiting a year. Yeah. Vittori's the other number one guy.
Fight Vettori, then Vettori beats him, but then are you going to give Vettori another fight?
You're right.
That is he? Probably not.
Yeah, what do you do if Vettori keeps winning? Fuck.
I know. That was when we were talking about spacing out, thinking about this stuff. That was one thing I kept thinking about. I'm like, he's already lost to him twice.
Badly.
What do you do with him?
He doesn't get finished, though. That's kind of the wrinkle.
Are we going to see this effect of where we had, like, several years ago, we had John Jones. Not going to go into all the controversy about the failed drug tests. But you had John Jones that could beat everybody. And right below him, you had Daniel Cormier that could beat everybody but John Jones.
Right.
And then right underneath Daniel Cormier, you had Anthony Rumble Johnson, who could beat everybody
but DC.
But them two.
DC and John Jones, yeah. I don't know, man. You can't let Vettori go like 0-4 against the champion. You might have to say, brother, hate to say it, you're not a big enough star for me to just keep letting you fight for the fucking belt. You're going to just have to kind of hold your breath for 18 months. If you want to take a couple fun fights, it'd be cool. And when there's a new champ in town, maybe we can get you back in.
You'll be the first one.
You can't tell a guy that. This motherfucker is sleeping, and breathing for the gold. That's all Vettori wants. It's hard to hate him, but I do hate him. I do. I hate Marvin. I don't care for Costa at all, and I wanted him to destroy Marvin. It is what it is. So, yeah, Brunson Cannonier, that'll be cool, but don't know what it's going to do for the title pick. Now, that'll be the month before the Izzy Rob fight, or the month after? Month before. Priming themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is some serious implications on that, stating Izzy wins.
Yes. If Izzy wins, the winner.
Yeah.
Well, Marvin, you just can't give it to Marvin, right? Like we said. So, yeah, you're right. Cannonier or Brunson will be number one contender.
Yeah, because who else is there? I agree with what you said about Cannonier. Like, well, he's on a one-fight win streak.
I know.
But,
you know who else there is?
But what do you do?
If we're talking 6-8 months from now, what about Chimaev? Because when he beats Zhing Lang, if he does, he's going to be like 8th in the world at 55. Or 70, excuse me. And he's already said, listen, my coach said he's only going to coach me if I stayed in one class, so we pay at 70, but we're going to get the belt here, and then we'll get the belt at 85. So what if he's number 8 in the world next Tuesday, and they give him number 3, whoever that is, and he beats him? And then he's fighting for the 170 belt against Colby Covington in 6 months. And let's say, hypothetically, Colby, he beats him.
That would be perfect case scenario if George or Leon, either one of them, had to pull out, he steps in.
Right.
Man.
Skyrocket up the board.
Yeah.
But then if you got the 170 belt, you have every right. The super fight right now that we all want that we'll never get is like Usman Stylebender. Mm-hmm. It doesn't get talked about because they've already said, Kamaru's already said, I'd never challenge Izzy for the belt. And Izzy's already said, I'd never fight my Nigerian brother. Whatever. But if Chimaev's up in there, he's going to be going, I'll fight Stylebender. You know what I mean?
You want me to fight him tomorrow, right now, and win?
Yeah, we can even do it just like outside the cage and just give me the belt. And he would do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he'd beat him. It'd be cool. It'd be awesome if, that'd be awesome, bro. That's the UFC's best case scenario with Chimaev. Fucking double champ status. Can you imagine? Now, that's never going to happen because Colby would fucking ice that fool, dude. Colby's an unstoppable force. Okay. Evliya versus Ilia Topuria added to UFC 270. That guy's going to be looking for the finish, man. Topuria, he just fucked up Ryan Hall, bro. Hall. So bad, bro. God, it was brutal to watch. But man, Ryan Hall's got to quit doing that stupid-ass 50-50 trick. It's like It's like the wildcat for football. It's like a kind of fluky thing that worked a couple times. But Ilya showed it. I'll just fucking hammer fist at the ground, and he got him. Mm-hmm. Dude. Brian Battle versus Tresean Gore. Yeah. February 5th on a fight night.
That's good.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the tough finale until injury pulled Tresean out.
Yep.
So that is cool that they booked it. I thought that was really cool. Kind of the biggest news for me, brother, was Mike Perry randomly signing a multi-fight deal with Bare Knuckle FC. Mm-hmm. The fuck? I was like waiting for his next fight for the UFC to be announced. I didn't even realize. They asked Dana and said, "Did you cut him? Did he ask for a release?" No, he just fought his last one of his deal, and we didn't talk for a couple weeks, and then he signed. That's fine, man. He's a badass guy. Like rooting for him. That'll draw them some attention, bro.
Yes, it will.
Mike Perry in the main event for Bare Knuckle against. They just signed another. Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. They've
got Diego.
Yeah, because Mike Perry's going to talk mad shit.
Yeah.
No matter who he's fighting.
And he's naturally a bigger guy, I think, than Diego. And they, of course, Bare Knuckle probably gave him more money than they should have. He's probably got $1 million deal like Page. Mm-hmm. They're going to be wanting that UFC kind of rematch. They're not like Bellator. Bellator's in denial. If there's ever two former UFC guys fighting for the Bellator belt, they do everything they can to not admit it. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Bare Knuckle will embrace it. Two former UFC stars, main event. They need it. I'd probably not tune in live, but I'd watch the shit on my phone later that night. I think it's cool, man. Good for Mike. He's one of those guys that goes to war, and you can tell with Mike Perry he lost a little bit of that brain in there every time he fights, bro. It's always a fucking war, and that's why we like him. But good for him. Got a big money deal. Was there any other big news?
Not that I can think of.
I know that I'm excited for next weekend more so than this one, bro. Like, oh God, seeing Colby fight live, man. I'm jacked. The whole card, but
Yeah, we've been wanting to watch this rematch ever since the last one ended.
Yeah, way before it was ever announced. Like, we were like, wouldn't it be cool if they fought again, And like we say, man, Marty Juiceman's he's a whole different kind of dude nowadays than he was the first time. That first fight is almost like, I just watched it the other night because I love it. You can almost see Marty finding himself. Like, as the fight goes, he's almost like, oh shit, I'm a striker now. And ever since then, he's been on this knockout streak. Like, not always knocking him out, but he's I'm telling you, man, he's with Trevor Whitman, and it's changed the game for him. Mm-hmm. But everyone says if anyone can do it, Colby can do it, and I want to believe that so bad, dude. I love this motherfucker. I love that he's a dude that had to play a character to make it. I love that now you don't know if that's even fact or fiction. I mean, it was like a breaking kayfabe. Like a couple years ago when Rogan was like, oh, he's a super nice guy on Joe Rogan Experience, it went viral that, whoa, Colby's putting on an act. But some people knew it, some people didn't, whatever. Now he's grayed the fucking blurred the line so much that you don't know. Like, he's doing Brett Okamoto interviews, and they're like, is it an act? Is it an act? And Colby's like, what do you mean? No, it's not an act. I just realized that they didn't give a shit, and I could turn it up to 11. Like, this is just me. I'm like, holy fuck, maybe it is, Every week he posts, hello, virgins, with a bunch of bikini models fucking telling you what to bet, always doing a commercial. You try to watch Colby on Submission Radio because he's on there all the time, and he's doing a Bang Energy commercial the whole time, and I love it. He's the perfect heel. But Kamaru's that kind of guy that you hate because you can tell he's deep down a piece of shit. To me, I look at him like, that guy's fake, man. That guy's a piece of shit. Maybe I'm way off, but I just don't like him. Nothing to do with Masvidal. Just, and there is that scenario of like, sometimes like a guy's cocky, but he's right, so people hate him because he's good and he's cocky about it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a case of that. Maybe I'm jealous, but I think Usman probably does roids. You can say every one of them guys does. You're stupid, whatever. But he hits it hard, and I think Colby is a respectable fucking champion wrestler turned badass striker, fucking grinding, earning every cent he makes. And they were rewatching the fight. It wasn't like a fight ending sequence where Kamaru faked the nut shot, but it was like obviously a great body shot. Mm-hmm. And we all know a great body shot is the first step to putting him down, whether you go to the head next or whatever. But, Colby was up. Colby got stopped, didn't get knocked out, got stopped. He jumped up and complained to me like, what the fuck, man? I'm just blocking some punches and thinking. I got a broken jaw, cut me some slack. But he got stopped. But 100% deserved a rematch. Maybe not immediate. Let him heal. Let Kamaru take the tour, defend a couple times. It looks like there ain't nobody can beat him. Who's going to beat him besides Colby? If you had to pick one guy, I got you backed into a corner, got my gun out. Hey, man, who's going to beat Kamaru?
Gilbert Burns.
Oh, I like it. I wouldn't have went with a guy that's already lost, but Gilbert had him. Fucked it up. I'd say Chimaev because I'm riding that train right now. What would you do? Right now, if I said that, do you roll your eyes?
No.
So when he beats Zhing Lang, hypothetically, and then number 5, then you can't roll your eyes. Not you, anybody. Like, if he had the couple more wins, if he wasn't out with injury, we'd already be saying, holy shit, what about this one?
Mm-hmm.
And he said this week he's going to eat him up too. God. What if Chimaev beats Zhang Lang, Colby beats Kamaru, and they're like, sorry, Kamaru, man, we had trouble getting you to defend it. You've done great. You got to take a fight. Well, who do I got to fight? The other number 1 contender. Who's that? Well, we were thinking Chimaev. Can you imagine?
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine? And then you could do Colby George because George is going to beat Leon. And that one on the same night. You know what I'm saying? Bro, what a time to be a fan. We're just talking about one division, dude. God damn it, I love this stuff, man. I love it.
We're not even really getting that deep into 55, 45, 35.
No,
it's great everywhere.
Yeah, when you're talking Chimaev, though, you're talking 70, 85 max. Every division's mostly badass. Now, I do have my problems with heavyweight and light heavyweight. We all do. Mm-hmm. There's no secrets. When flyweight's better than heavyweight, something's wrong. Heavyweight is Mike Tyson, man. Evander Holyfield. Fucking Fyodor. That's heavyweight. Ours is like 2 guys and then a couple. You just don't know. But, man, 25 is like Brandon Moreno, Figgy, Cody No Love, fucking
Kai Kara France.
Fucking, who's our boy? Raw Dog?
Yeah, Raw Dog.
Pantoja.
Yeah.
That arguably fighting for the belt next.
Should be, yeah.
It was supposed to be before they were like, hey, we got to do this Figueiredo thing. It's a great time to be a fan, dude. Next week, Zach Davis is going to come hang out. He's got a fight November 13th, and I'm front row, baby. But it's the same night as Max versus Yair. If Max loses while I'm not watching, bro, I'll feel responsible. But he ain't going to lose, bro.
Nah, he's going to sleep this fool.
Yeah, best is blessed. He never finishes, but it's time. It's time. Mm-hmm. He's been gaming a lot and working out, getting a little stronger.
Well, he finished Calvin Kattar about 4 fucking times in that fight.
No shit. And remember, we would have hit big if they would have stopped it.
We each put 100 on the finish.
Sitting on the couch before the fights, and Chad, I'm like, what are we doing? What if we decided together that what if we just put 100 on Max? And then it was like, well, Max by finish or money line. And we were leaning money line for safety. But finish paid so much more. It was like 1 paid 5.
Yeah, I think we would have paid $500.
And they should have stopped that son of a bitch 3, 4, 5 different times. The entire world went, God damn, ref, sorry to say it, bro, but you should just,
Yeah, everybody was like, Jesus, just stop it.
Save the kid.
Yeah.
Not even looking. He's like,
live to fight another day.
No shit. The guy's been out a year.
Mm-hmm.
You call that fight in the 3rd, he's back 3 months later going, he'd probably already be getting his rematch. He'd probably already won a couple, fucked up Jeremy Stevens again, or whoever they give him. He's in a different tier now. You put him with Max, and now there's a whole new batch of names that they can match him with. Before the Max fight, if you would have said any of those other top 5, 6, 7 guys, they'd be like, well, not yet. But after the Max fight, it elevates you, even if you get demolished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could be seeing Calvin Kattar, Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah. And we should be, because Max shouldn't be fighting anyone but Volk.
Agreed.
But he's in Marvin Vettori land, except he's got the star power to get it. It's a fact that he's getting it.
And everybody except for 2 judges on this earth, think that Max won that fight.
Unbelievable, man.
There was 2 judges on this entire earth that think Max lost.
Like I said, you can't blame Volk. No, all he did was went out there and worked his ass off, the same as Max. But it's got to be hard to hug a guy that you think you beat and say, congrats, champ.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bummer. But anyways, so Zach's going to come on. We'll just do like we always do. We'll talk the fights. He watches too, but, his life is fighting. So he'll talk a little bit about, like, Team Vinci, where we come from, and what it's like to be a fighter. I think he said he's going to talk about the weight cut. It just kind of like a peek behind the curtain of, like, some of the shit these dudes go through. I mean, now that he's a buddy of mine, I get snaps from the guy. That's life, Motherfucker's up at like 4, pounding giant amounts of food to go work out, to come home, to get clean, to eat again, to go to work. Like, dude, I couldn't do it. Like, I'm down to 195 now. Like, I'm so excited about these pounds I'm losing, but seeing what some of these guys do, I could never. Now, I'll get in there and fight. Like, I'm having fun doing that. But to actually prep, to actually have a training camp, the dedication required, the shit he has to go without, the work he has to do. Like, the dude's always on time, but showing up, like, at the last possible second for class because that was the soonest he could get there. I mean, the motherfucker's just working, He's a worker. And, I'm so into this shit. I asked so many questions up there. One of our other teammates was like telling me, and I was like, dude, I won't say it. I was like, when you do this, is it because? And he was like answering. You could tell he was happy that someone was asking. And then he stopped and he goes, "You're not like a spy for a fucking other team, are you?" And he wasn't joking. I was like, "No, dude, I just love this shit. The sweet science, baby. I want to learn it. I don't want to copy this guy, but I want to know why you do that and why he does that. And what would happen if I did that?" I love it. So to get a little peek behind and hear about what it goes through, it'd be cool. And his fight's the 13th. I don't know what next week will be. Will it be like November 1st or 2nd or something? So it'll be like 10 days out or something.
I think the 3rd.
It'll be 10 days out. So that's kind of a cool time to see, we know as super fans that like Sundays when training camp kind of ends, Monday fight week starts. But what's it like for a regular dude who's a pro fighter, I'm curious to hear about it. I mean, we talk at class and stuff, but it's class. You get 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after, and everyone's so fucking bloody and beat up. We're like, yeah, I'm going home, man. The best you get is a hug, but I'm very excited about that. So also in the midst of the biggest fucking pay-per-views, I mean, two weeks in a row, Max Holloway the week after, like, it's a huge time, bro. It's a huge time. So, tune in next week, man. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
That's all I got.
Peace.
Right on.